What's up, Abe Kislevitz here, coming at you with another tutorial. Today we're going to be running through how to get the best quality for your GoPro content on Instagram. So I'm going to run through a couple things on Instagram first, then a couple best practices while we're shooting and just picking footage, and then lastly we'll go through the export settings. Thanks to Storyblocks for sponsoring this video. We'll hear more about that later, but let's dive right in. The very first thing that you should do is open up your phone on Instagram, go to your settings, click on the settings button, click on account near the bottom, and then down to data usage. And I just found this a couple months ago. I don't know if it actually is going to do anything, but every little bit can help, right? So there's this switch that says high quality uploads, and it says upload higher quality videos on cellular or Wi-Fi, which to me kind of sounds like it's hiding in plain English the fact that it's not just for cellular, but it's also for Wi-Fi, which kind of constitutes every video. Obviously, if Instagram increased their bitrate overnight for everybody, their server costs would go through the roof. So it makes sense that they would have a switch to get higher quality videos because it is a problem on Instagram, but the fact that it's kind of hidden makes sense. The very first question that I get a lot is, why does my GoPro stuff look so much worse than everything else? What I like to try to explain to people is that it's not specifically the fact that it's a GoPro camera, it's more so that the GoPro's lens is ultra wide, so you're getting a lot more information and data in the scene. And then secondly, just by the nature of it being a GoPro, a lot of the shots are probably in motion, they're fast paced, so the data that is in the scene is changing rapidly, which is also hard on compression. That all equates to video that looks worse when it's highly compressed. The truth of the matter is we can't really control what Instagram or YouTube's gonna do on their end. The best that we can do is provide it with video that's clean, video that's easy to compress well, and then doing our part to give it a high quality source. So what does it mean to pick a video that is easy to compress? Well, if you had to choose between the video on the left and the video on the right, one has a bunch of information that's moving all over the scene. The other one is cleaner in the sky, there's less information moving, and that's gonna be a much easier video to compress on Instagram's end. So ultimately, that's gonna look better in the long run. The other thing that's huge in helping video compress well is stabilization. Part of a compression algorithm is using multiple frames and looking at the motion between consecutive frames. Stabilization helps this because the motion frame to frame is largely the same. In older GoPro footage where there wasn't any stabilization, you'd see the compression artifacts are much worse. This is also why a lot of people complain that their time warps are really poorly compressed. This is because the time warp has so much information that's moving very rapidly, so frame to frame, the information is vastly different. Last but not least, on the theoretical and editing side of things, adding noise reduction in post is going to help compression have an easier time. It's just going to reduce the amount of information that the compression is going to have to work with. So doing a passive noise reduction is really going to help out. I use DaVinci Resolve for all of my noise reduction. Unfortunately, noise reduction is only available in the paid version, so the free version doesn't have it. But if you can get the paid version, DaVinci Resolve's noise reduction is extremely high quality. Most good video noise reductions do cost money, unfortunately, because they are pretty complex algorithms. So I suggest if you're really serious about high quality video output, invest your time and your money in a good noise reduction pass. This next section is going to be numbers and information in Premiere. So we're just going to make sure that you're using the right frame sizes to begin with, and then the right bitrate on your export. Before we do that, we're going to check in with me outside with a little information on Storyblocks. We are on a beautiful sunset bike ride today, and I am here to tell you about Storyblocks, which is an awesome subscription service that has everything you need for content production and editing video, from sound effects to stock video to transitions and titles. I've had it for the past 3 months now, and I cannot tell you how many times it has come in handy. Things that normally take me 30 minutes or so to track down on an old hard drive or the web, and I always use the same stuff. I can now hop on a Storyblocks, grab whatever sound effect I need, grab the transition that I want, and it's good to go. So the awesome thing is it's all royalty free, so you can use it for your own projects or for client work as well. So check the link in the description below. I don't think you guys are gonna be disappointed. Thanks for hearing me out and tuning in. All right, now we're back with the version of myself that's inside on a computer. Much more fun. When you're doing an Instagram video, you want to make sure your sequence settings matches your export. So just go up to File, New Sequence, Under digital SLR, there's the 1080p presets. I like to start with DSLR 1080p, click over to settings, and let's change our frame size. So the maximum that Instagram accepts is 1080 horizontal by 1350 vertical, and that is for the 5x4 video. If you're doing an Instagram Reels, that's gonna be 1920 vertical. But for this one, we're just gonna do a standard 5x4 Instagram video, so we'll do 1350. Let's name this Instagram video. If you wanna save this as an easy preset you can revisit, just click Save Preset, and you can save it as Instagram video. So hit OK, and now we have a frame size that's gonna match our Instagram video output. I've already got one set up over here. A lot of the GoPro footage is gonna be bigger than your frame size, so just make sure you scale that down so it fits the frame. And then once you're ready to export, let's go up to File, Export Media. For Instagram, your format is gonna be H.264. There's a lot of scary options in here. Just know H.264 is your safe place. From here, there's a lot of information in here. It's really not that complicated because we're only looking for one thing. We're looking for the export bitrate. So if you scroll through everything, give a quick check and make sure your width and height are correct. That's 1080 by 1350. And then we'll scroll past this. Bitrate settings. Under bitrate encoding, there's multiple options. There's CBR, which is constant bitrate, VBR 1 pass, VBR 2 pass, which is variable bitrate. Just know that anytime you see something with multi-pass or 2 pass is gonna be higher quality than a single pass. For Instagram, it really doesn't matter. You could do CBR, but if you just wanna make sure you're getting the highest quality, do VBR 2 pass. It's gonna give you an option for a target bitrate and a maximum bitrate. For Instagram videos, I typically keep my target bitrate at 25 and my maximum bitrate maybe 35. Anything between 25 and 50 is gonna be totally fine. I usually overcompensate and give it the highest quality source that I can. Sometimes people will say to compress it more on your export and don't let Instagram do as much. I haven't really found that to be the case. I give it a very high quality export and then let it do its thing. From here, we'll just hit export. We'll get a great high quality video. And then to get it onto your phone, I would use AirDrop if you're on Apple devices. Otherwise, do some other way to get a full high quality video onto your device. One thing to note is if you are texting it to yourself, it's gonna drop quality because it's gonna transcode that so it travels through text easier and it's not gonna be the same video that you created. So make sure you either transfer it directly, drop it into a Dropbox or an email, or use AirDrop if you're on Apple devices. That's all I've got for you today. I hope this has helped you. It's really not that complicated on the export settings. It's a lot of theory and more just understanding what goes into good video. It is frustrating to see that you can't really share that high quality source with people unless you're giving them the original file. The good thing is nobody but you has seen the original quality, so people just see what they see and they'll love the fact that you're uploading amazing and engaging content. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on the next one.